Hey guys, just wanted to share this with you. I bought this Ryobi hedge trimmer on Gumtree, funnily enough, and got the guys to ship it down with a courier from Sydney. And it's pretty clean. It's 2015, but you can see it's not done a lot of work, and even the blade's pretty still shiny. So I started it up, all was good, but then when I revved up the throttle, blades wouldn't turn. So I did spray it with a lot of WD-40 and got that all on the blades, but pretty soon realised should whip the gearbox apart. So this is the gearbox plate, goes on the bottom of the bottom of the hedge trimmer, and just so you can see what's going on if you have any trouble with yours. We've got the main pinion, which is coming from the centrifugal clutch. I think that might be direct drive or a reduction gear from the engine. Then we've got a main cog with a couple of cams, and those two cams are offset. The top one pushes the top blade, bottom one pushes the bottom blade, and then they're sandwiched on the blade carrier between that bit of angle and this flat plate at the bottom. So the bit I just wanted to share with you was, if you do open this up, so the way I fixed it was to take all the bolts out, then you just got to be careful because there are these little spaces in there, and I'm just going to get some more WD in there because it's just a great place to lubricate, to try and get some lubrication going on the blade. So those little bolts go through, they go through with a washer through the spacer, and then on the bottom side you've just got those lock nuts. It's all pretty simple, but before this blade was just really stuck down, and it must have just been a bit of the gunk from the trees and stuff and the hedges, and it just wasn't helping out. The other thing to note is this gearbox is full of this grease, and this grease is a bit weird because it's just not going anywhere, look. So I've spread that around a bit, put it into the gear. It's got this bit of felt to stop it coming out. That felt was in the wrong position, so I'll just try and get that in. And I just sprayed a bit of chain lube on it just to help that out, and a bit of WD-40 in there just to make sure it's all nice and soggy and lubricated, and that grease can just run around in that gearbox. Okay, so I'll get that back together and we'll give it a run. Okay, so we'll get the cover of the gearbox back on. Just get some of this grease pushed back in. So I did spray a bit of WD on this, and just trying to get this grease, pretty good grease, because it really doesn't want to go anywhere. Look at that. And then it's warmed up a bit from the engine, but it really doesn't feel, like it's going anywhere. So I'm just going to put it off this gasket, off this cover, and get it in all these gears, get it nice and far in, so that maybe it can do some work. My one-handedness. Let's just get that all in there. Nicely in. Okay. Better than it was. Okay, one thing not to forget is this disc, which just sits on top of that gear there, just to close that down, because I did forget that just before. And now I'll get the cover on, and when you put the cover on, just be a bit careful with the gasket, make sure that's not flying up. Look at that, that's air in that bronze bush. That's okay, that'll get itself out. Okay, let's get a bit more Loctite. Back in those threads. I don't know if it's got any chance because there's a lot of grease going on in those holes. Nevertheless, So I will fess up, in the video before I forgot to put that plate back in when I gave it a test run. But that's okay, because I left it to one side, I remembered. That's what happens when you get old. Kids, try and keep your memory. Okay, I'll just zip those up. Gee whiz. Okay, just give it one quick start, just to show you that she's all good. I've greased the heck out of that. Okay, let's see if it goes. First pull. Look at that. Okay, thanks for watching.